Hey, Human Diddlers, this is Joel, and he's at the Engage conference in Birmingham, and he's kind of doing all this drawing while people are telling him what to do. And hang on, let's ask him all about it. Joel, what are you doing here? Can you draw and talk?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can sort of draw and
American
talk.
presidents can't walk and talk, I think, but you can draw and talk.
So the guys from Engage have asked me to come in and try and sort of capture some of the major points that have been coming out of the conference and out of the speeches, and I'm trying to sort of capture them in words and pictures and make it a bit fun, a bit more interesting for people to have a bit of a takeaway from the event.
Fantastic. And where have you got all these drawing skills from?
Well, I did a degree in fine art.
Yeah.
Not that I would say that particularly taught me drawing skills.
Yes.
I think the drawing skills go back to doodling as a kid, really.
Right, I'm coming on the other side because of the light.
And I used to get told off at school for doodling in the back of my books.
Yeah.
And it's now sort of what I do for a living, which is sort of strange. But I did a degree in fine art in Falmouth down in Cornwall, which was really nice. But didn't really set me up for, any sort of career particularly. It's quite hard to.
Yeah. Was there a lot of drawing went on there, because drawing's been?
No, unfortunately, like most.
Not flavour of the month.
Like most art
for a long
schools,
while.
it's the focus is really on sort of concept as opposed to sort of process and skill, which I felt was really missing. And bizarrely,
were you kind of a naughty boy for drawing?
Well, no, it's quite a traditional. It's quite a traditional course, and there were a lot of painters on the course. But I mean, strangely, there was an illustration course, and a graphic design course, and a painting course. And life drawing was part of the graphic design course and part of the illustration course, but not part of the fine art course.
Right.
So
weird.
that focus, I think, has gone a lot from sort of arts education. The idea that you would get the skills down pat, really sort of fantastic at everything, and then you can break the rules. That's sort of fine. I think most higher education places think that you've done that at GCSE and A level, and you have to an extent, but I think not enough compared to painters of the past.
Yes.
As it were. Anyway, I draw silly pictures now, so.
Well, it's not so silly. I mean, I think this is incredibly complex. And so there's weird things going on in your brain, and people are coming up and just spouting ideas at you, and you're trying to fit them all in, and you're kind of growing a story as you're going along, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's sort
is
of
it storytelling, this, or is it?
Yeah, it's partly storytelling, but it's difficult because it's not your story that you're telling; it's other people's, and you don't know where the story is going.
You don't know what the end is.
You don't know what the end is. But it's sort of it is a difficult sort of multitasking skill to sort of listen and draw and turn that into some sort of image as well. And really hard today, actually, because it was very fast-paced.
Yeah,
a lot of content.
There was an awful lot going on there. So people want to know about what materials you use. What are these boards?
So I either work on. I haven't got any here. I either work on flip-top paper that's sort of sticky at the top.
Right. Yes.
Which 3M does, which is wonderful. These are foam boards.
Yeah. Good.
Copic pens. If you can see them.
Oh yes, I use those.
Refillable Copic pens.
And they don't make you cough, do
they? They don't make you cough. They do make your hands dirty.
I do use those.
Propelling pencils.
Post-it
notes.
So your propelling pencil. Are you doing little sketches? I can see that.
You see, if I've got time, I'm doing
very
basic sort of, just to sort of plan out where stuff is going to go.
Well,
also, for instance, the woman that was just talking, I couldn't see her from where I was standing.
I'll show you my sketch.
So I've just done a really basic. I think she might look something like that.
I'm going to come back to this later because I did a sketch of her in my sketchbook while she was talking.
Bring yours along so I can use it as a crib sheet. Anyway, so there's a bit of. If I have time, I do try and do a bit of drawing and a bit. But it's.
That's interesting because it looks from a distance if you're just doing it, but what is really I'm always telling people to do these little pencil sketches, and you can rub them out.
Yeah, totally. And if you've got time to do that, you get a better product at the end.
Yeah,
I think So you can find me online.
That's fascinating. So we can find you online.
www.joelcooper.co.uk.
Yeah.
And there's loads of stuff up there.
That's fantastic.
And links to my blog, all sorts of things. So do check that out.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
No problem. Nice to speak to you.
Well, the Engage conference in Birmingham was all about change in the world of visual arts at the moment. And these are my notes, just so you know what I was doing. So I was basically doing, these were just tiny little people in the distance. I was right at the back of the hall. So I was just drawing sort of impressions of the people who were talking. This was Laura Ford, who Joel had just penciled in. So this is how I drew her. And this was in later sessions. And these were sessions the next day. And that's the final session that I did. So these are kind of my note taking. I learned an awful lot, met some very interesting people, and had lots of really new ideas, which I will be bringing forward on the Shoe Rainer drawing channel very, very soon. Look out for a shout out in the next few weeks.